this is an unprecedented hurricane season for us in terms of forecasting because we have an El Nino pattern, but we also have warmer than average Atlantic Ocean.
So if I'm getting this right, it sounds like it's basically like very difficult to calibrate how to anticipate this shit.
Well, yeah, we have to use new climate norms.
Typically, it's hard to see in the future, Joe, yeah.
Yes. However, we have a lot of fucking data. The period of time that constitutes what our basis is for climate is 30 years. But so much has changed in the past 30 years that we don't really have a point of reference. The world is changing.
World's changing!
But not in a good way, in a way that...
They say that in all the Marvel movies.
In a way that everybody is going to die, is what I mean.
Well, yeah, on a long enough timeline, yeah. But unfortunately, so will the planet, yeah. Yeah, we fucked it. Oh, well.
So, yeah, so basically, it's so warm that, like, the thermodynamics could actually overcome the factors that would make this a milder than average hurricane season. Like, we could have an average or an above average hurricane season. We have no idea. So stop fucking asking.
Okay.
I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying, like, to people who, like, they think meteorologists are, like, fake, like, goop scientists because they just...
Fake goop scientists?
Yeah, they just, like, make shit up. They're like, oh, there's only scientists that can be wrong more than half the time and still keep their job. And it's like...
I could tell you a job where you could be wrong more than half the time and still have your job. Being a professional baseball player.
Economists literally do worse than chance.
Wait, what? Joe, what the fuck? I don't understand. Yeah, no.
Like,
you said...
If you're batting 300, that is considered good. But that also means that you have failed 70% of the time.
Don't most batters bat at 300 anyways?
No.
What do most batters bat?
Probably like 240, 250.
I thought it was even lower than that.
So it's lower than 300?
Yes.
So what the fuck are you complaining about?
I'm not complaining.
Okay, you're just making... Okay.
I was just making the point of people like, oh, but like, name another job that like you fail most of the time and still keep your job. It's like, I can give you plenty.
Oh. Well, meteorologists don't fail most of the time.
I mean, economists fail like pretty much all of the time. I mean, they're making it up most of the time anyways. I'm
going to post a screenshot of this typhoon on satellite because it is absolutely savage looking still.
I mean, if we're being honest, being an economist, it's basically just like astrology for rich people.
Yeah, great. Stop talking about... Stop with this joke. I get it. Welcome to the epoch of incredulity where we're talking about weather for 20 fucking minutes.
I'll cut it down to like 2.
No, it's fine.
I was getting an education.
Hello, welcome back to the Boston Commune.
This week's incredulous installment will again be split into 2 parts, featuring commentary from comrades Scott, Joe, and myself. In part 1, we discuss how the manufactured debt ceiling crisis is solved by, predictably, squeezing the working class harder than ever. The intersection of conservatism and conservationism. Ron DeSantis and Elon Musk rub a couple of brain cells together with no luck. Righteous ire in the land of Ireland. Space Force Reloaded. And the ongoing saga of mammalian marine marauders. We'll save the local developments and the slams for part 2.
Please do us a favor, share this going down. Do us a favor, enjoy our epoch.
They worked out a live and let live arrangement that allowed there to be basically an alliance between Britain and the United States for the next 150 years. So the question for the United States, to be crude and simple, but it's the basic story. Are you going to work out a deal like that with China, or are you going to go to war with a country that has nuclear weapons and knows how to deliver them?
The debt limit deal clears a key hurdle in the committee after fierce criticism from the GOP hardliners. It's now on track.
Not good.
Now on track for a House vote. House floor vote.
That's not good.
Joe says that's not good. We'll get into it in a second when we actually get into the fucking news. But breaking news.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Fucking... Why did you do that to me? Because this is just going to be a joke. I was just going to say that Kendall Roy's body has been found in the Hudson River.
Oh, god damn it.
You know, that's how I think. That's what I think his fate will be after the end of Succession. Talk about the debt ceiling bullshit now. I will you thought I was bored during the weather? Oh boy.
So, the National Bureau of Economic Research put out a report that Politico reported on today, and it concluded that the COVID relief programs, like the stimulus checks, expanded the child tax credit, expanded like SNAP benefits and shit, actually significantly reduced the income gap between like the highest earning workers and the lower income workers by like quite a bit. Like, quoting from the report, workers making an average of $12.50 an hour saw their wages
Randomly
increase
stepping in dog shit.
Sorry.
by over 6% between 2020 to 2022, and that's even after adjusting for inflation. So even with all of this insane inflation, the lowest income workers in this country still saw their wages go up by 6%, which is double what low-income workers saw their wages go up during the entirety of the Obama administration.
Joe, is this the debt ceiling? What's going on?
Yes, this is the debt ceiling.
Okay.
This is about, like, how working people are going to be fucked over by this debt ceiling.
Because a lot of the spending that was helping those people is going to go, oh, yeah.
Yes.
I see. I'm an asshole. I see the fucking ramp you were creating now. God damn it.
So, like, the lowest income workers in this country, even with all of this insane inflation, still between 2020 and 2022, still saw their wages go up by over 6%. And that's more than the entire Obama administration in terms of, like, real increase in wages for, like, people at the very bottom of the income bracket. And at the same time, during the same period, 2020 to 2022, the inflation-adjusted income of workers in the 90th percentile by income actually dropped by a solid 5%. So, as a result, this basically caused the 40-year growth in income inequality between, like, the bottom tier of, like, income brackets to in the top tier. Like 25% of that just got wiped out in like 2 years because we gave money to poor people and we like did all of this social spending and investing in shit like more food stamps, expanding Medicaid, expanding the child tax credit, giving people stimulus checks, expanded unemployment insurance. But all of that shit is basically gone now, or actively being reversed in an attempt to discipline the proletariat.
Discipline the proletariat. Ooh. Ooh.
I'm a very bad boy, proletariat.
Yeah, ooh.
Because God forbid we want better wages and unions.
Oh, we'll talk about that later, Joe.
Have a seat. Better choke me out.
Come on. Choke me out, sweet proletariat daddy.
This debt ceiling bill pretty much fucks over everyone who isn't already rich because they're implementing work requirements on food stamp recipients, and the work requirements will be now affecting people as old as like 54, which in past debt ceiling argument,
wild.
Democrats were like, this is a non-starter. Now all of a sudden, like, yeah, we're okay with this. And they're also going to be implementing stricter work requirements on the program Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, which is what was left of the program that Clinton nuked in the 90s that was called Aid to Families with Dependent Children, which is literally just like a program that gives cash payments to like extremely poor households that have dependent children.
Jesus.
Even though the funding for that, the budget for that program was already like very small before this debt ceiling deal. So like, they decided to like cut parts of the budget that were already very, very small. And at the same time, I haven't even gotten to the student debt part yet, but at the same time, not only making all these cuts to these social welfare programs that like make up a very tiny portion of the budget, the Pentagon is actually getting an increase in its budget.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Pentagon under this deal, next fiscal year, the Pentagon's budget will be $886 billion.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which means that the entire discretionary, like non-military, like domestic budget is going to be nearly $200 billion smaller than just the Pentagon.
Wait, say that again?
The Pentagon's budget next year will be nearly $200 billion larger than the entire, like, non-military domestic, like, social spending programs combined.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's,
And then you get to the fact that, like, student loans, student debtors like me, are completely fucked now because...
No, keep talking.
Oh my god, let me center this conversation around me for a moment! Me!
Sorry, I had to.
Who's that? Is that Jimmy Dore?
No, that's fucking Hassan. Anyways.
Sounds like Jimmy Dore, except unironically.
So, me and like about 50 million other people are going to have to deal with the problem that this debt ceiling bill kills off the payment pause that pauses student loan payments and interest until the end of August, and also legally prevents the education secretary from implementing future pauses.
Sorry. Keep talking, Joe.
So not only does this bill end the pause of student debt and interest payments, but it also legally prevents the education department from implementing future pauses on student debt and interest without congressional consent, which is another way of saying it's never going to happen again.
Yeah, that's insane.
Congress is a depraved pack of fucking psychopathic billionaires. And, you know, this comes into the context of this, like, actually works out perfectly for the Biden administration because, like, they've been pissed. Well, I mean, this works out perfect for them because they've been sick of, like, having, like, student debt activists harassing them about how, like, they need to do something about the debt and, like, bullying them to get them to keep extending the pause. Well, if Congress removes their ability to be able to pause student debt, they can just throw up their hands and be like, well, we tried, but, like, those Republicans in Congress just won't let us. So, like, stop harassing us about trying to get us to do our jobs. Because the Biden administration has attempted to turn on the payments again, like, 7 times in the 24 months that the administration has been in power. And every single time, they have been bullied into extending the pause. So, like, having written to the bill that Congress has to be the one to authorize a student loan payment pause in the future, Democrats can go back to, like, pretending to do things but having no intention of doing them, and then just being like, well, we tried the best we could do, so sorry, you gotta vote for us again in a couple years.
I find it interesting that they think that, like, this will make people, like, leave them alone. And it's just like, yeah, like, they're tired of, like, protesters yelling at them, but, like, now you gave them something else to yell about. So
yeah, this was, like, the dumbest possible thing possible if you're, like, you know, running to be reelected as president. Yeah, I'm going to turn on, like, the loans and the interest that you can't afford to pay. You're struggling to be able to afford food and rent, but now we're going to make you pay all of these insanely expensive student loan payments every month, and we're also going to want you to vote for us now. How is that going to go?
Yeah, but, like, it doesn't matter what they do. It's how well they convey their, like, virtues to the press and how well...
I get what you're saying. It's about, like, how the libs feel about themselves inside.
About a feeling.
It's true, what Joe said, that it discredits Joe Biden in the run-up to his bid for re-election, but in the same way that oligopolies collaborate to raise prices, Democrats and Republicans work together on austerity. Because any new developments on Capitol Hill are first relayed through the press corps, the Democratic Party doesn't have to maintain a direct relationship with working-class Americans. Rather, the cabinet and the press rely on each other to normalize the fiscal conservatism that reinforces the existing class structure. Neoliberal veterans like Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer will occasionally make decisions purely out of self-interest to improve their chances of re-election, but only if those decisions comport with the mechanisms of power that allowed them to get elected in the first place. For instance, in the month of May, the Energy and Commerce Committee, a panel with the constitutional authority to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states, and a responsibility for matters including telecommunications, consumer protection, food and drug safety, public health and research, environmental quality, energy policy, and interstate and foreign commerce, produced 3 Democrat-sponsored bills entitled Supporting the Goals and Ideals of the Month of May as Sex Ed for All Month expressing support for the designation of September 2023 as National Leading Entertainment and Arts Through Diversity Month, and supporting the goals and ideals of National Honor Our LGBT Elders Day. These bills are definitionally messaging bills, with the text of the resolutions containing no actionable measures aside from the following verbs: express, support, promote, champion, and encourage. Zero material aid, whether by choice or because of the built-in roadblocks to any kind of meaningful reform. This is the extent of the Democratic Party's service to the public. In other words, the Democrats in power are not going to willingly give up their fealty to the private sector, nor their financial stranglehold over students, as it would cede too much power to young, well-educated progressives, many of whom have already been disillusioned by the Democratic Party's lies and broken promises. It's probably a moot point. For the most part, somebody who's paying attention in passing isn't going to have more follow-up questions that can't be answered, you know? It's like, oh, well, they tried, and it's tough. Politics is tough, you know? It's a give and take. They're doing their best, those Democrats. You know, maybe they're not the best, but they're not as bad as the other guys. Yeah, that's literally the extent.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, on the other side of the aisle, you have, literally just Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis is not going to win.
Yeah, I don't understand liberals who think that, somehow Trump isn't going to win the Republican primary when, most Republicans view Trump as, a living god of sorts. God,
you say.
Yeah.
They're not, yeah.
I'm curious.
I don't understand liberals who are oh, no, DeSantis is going to win. It's what convinces you of this?
It's almost like he's running so that, the Republican Party has a fucking straw man, so that it's
see, we could be this bad. See this guy? See how much this guy sucks? If you don't do what we want, this guy could be president.
Yeah, what do you want? You gonna vote for this guy? No, that's what I keep thinking about. Is it yeah, they don't do anything, but then it's
he's literally this Republican scarecrow.
Yeah, exactly. They're but then they just kind of shrug towards the right, and they're what, you want that guy though? And it's the shittiest tactic. You're right, Joe. It's bullshit. Fuck them.
Oh, I almost forgot. Another, big component of the debt ceiling bill is permitting reform is been agreed to.
Is what?
Specifically, permitting reform. It's basically
permitting,
gutting the regulations on approving permits for fossil fuel projects.
Okay. What?
And specifically, this includes special treatment for the Mountain Valley Pipeline in West Virginia that Joe Manchin has been pushing for because it personally would enrich him. And it's a $6.6 billion project intended to carry gas about 300 miles from the Marcellus shale fields in West Virginia
Hell's up with that guy.
across nearly 1,000 streams and wetlands before ending in Virginia. Environmentalists, civil rights activists, and many Democratic state lawmakers have opposed the project for years. The bill declares that, quote, the timely completion of the construction and operation of the Mountain Valley Pipeline is required in the national interest, end quote.
I'll bet this deal was in the works for a long time because there was a stalemate between the Republicans and the Democrats on
this is literally the same permitting reform bill that Manchin tried to get put into the Inflation Reduction Act back in October.
Dude, fucking listen. There was a stalemate where Joe Manchin, who had for weeks been saying, I ain't moving, and then all of a sudden he jumped over to the other side so that they could cram it through, and he said his platitudes about it, and people were I wonder what happened. I wonder why he decided to change his mind.
And it did get included in the infrastructure bill. He threw a tantrum in the media for 2 weeks, and then people kind of forgot about it.
Yes,
and then he brought it back for the debt ceiling.
But I think the reason that he finally got off his fucking high horse was initially so that he could look like a hero, and then secondarily because he knew he was going to get what he wanted down the line. I think they struck up this deal back then.
How long ago was that?
Damn, it was 6 months ago?
No, longer. 8 months ago.
Okay. So the baby's more ready to come out. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, Manchin's been pregnant.
What's with that guy? He's fucking weirdo.
He looks like one of the beavers from Angry Beavers.
That's an insult to the beavers from Angry Beavers. I feel bad for them.
Well, just now. One of them, really.
All right. Joe, we get that you know a lot of things. You gotta let other people speak and tell the stories, though. It's okay.
That was an oopsies.
It's okay, dog. Anyways, want to talk about the Supreme Court fucking the environment over like so many things?
Yes, it's basically just tearing out huge chunks of laws and just kind of deciding what they feel it should be, just based on, like, feelings.
What's all vibes now? What's all politics is now?
This was, like, so bad that, like, they lost Brett Kavanaugh on this one.
Oh.
This was so bad that Brett Kavanaugh sided with the liberals on this, opposing it.
Tell me how bad it was.
The Supreme Court on May 25th, Thursday, ruled that the EPA does not have the authority under the Clean Air and Water Act to regulate pollution in millions of acres of wetlands in a win for property developers who sued in court that the Clean Air and Water Act was a violation of their personal property rights to pollute in ecologically important wetlands and other bodies of water that are protected by the Clean Air and Water Act because property developers and shit were polluting a bunch into, like, the water supply. So...
What region is this specifically?
All of them.
Oh, all of them? Really?
Yeah.
Well, that
Yes.
sucks.
Any wetlands.
Oh, well, fuck me. That's the worst possible outcome.
The majority opinion written by Samuel Alito said that the Clean Air and Water Act does not allow the agency to regulate discharges into wetlands near bodies of water unless they have a, quote, continuous surface connection to those waters.
What?
This is like the second big blow to the EPA's regulatory authority in the past year, because last year...
This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Last year the court said that the EPA doesn't
make
have...
any fucking logic.
Last year the court said the EPA doesn't have the power to address climate change under the Clean Air Act, which is insanity.
What?
Yes.
What? It doesn't It's fucking stupid.
It's like, you can't stop me from shitting on the counter unless you can prove that shit ends up in your taco.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's like, what the fuck is the point of, like, the fucking, like, the Clean Air and Water Act then?
There isn't any.
It's such bullshit.
There isn't any because it interferes with the ability of individual entrepreneurs to make profits.
Yeah,
Experts in environmental law said the decision would leave many wetlands subject to pollution without penalty, sharply undercutting the EPA's authority to protect them under the Clean Water Act. So basically, the decision was made with justices agreeing the homeowners who brought the case should not have been subject to the agency's oversight because the wetlands on their property were not subject to regulation in any event. But there was sharp disagreement about a new test the majority established to determine which wetlands are covered by law. And it's insane. This is what Brett Kavanaugh's dissent was. Quote, by narrowing the Act's coverage of wetlands to only adjoining wetlands, the court's new test leaves some long-regulated adjacent wetlands no longer covered by the Clean Water Act, with significant repercussions for water quality and flood control throughout the United States. This is Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You know what's bad? When he sounds like a sane person.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can see him taking this side to, like, protect himself and stuff with all the controversy around the court right now, to make himself look like...
But he's a little younger than the other justices.
Yeah, and he's also a little bit younger, and he's a little bit more lived, so...
Does that even really matter? Because, like, the Supreme Court, like, once you're there, you're basically, like, above the law for, like, the rest of your life.
We'll see about that. But, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter to these people. There's no way to hold them accountable. Why the fuck should they care what other people think?
This brings to mind, it was a Mexi video. Mexi does, like, really good...
You're feeling that we should just nuke America? Because, like, the more research I did this week for the episode, the more I kind of...
We live in America, though.
See the logic in that.
No. I mean, I still feel like that, but that's not what Mexi did the video about.
Whoa. Go on.
But Mexi is a Canadian YouTuber, an eco-socialist, I guess you could say. More like an eco-communist. But she did like a deep dive into the sort of having protected parts of the globe, but those protected areas just kind of become, it's like a plaything for the rich. If they're not actually being managed by people who take care of the land and have known how to do so for like thousands and thousands of years, then it's still just the capitalist class encroaching on territory and like declaring themselves the alpha and the omega over like how resources are maintained. It is called, I think I mentioned this before on the podcast, actually. Conserving Half the Earth Won't Save Us, Neoliberal Nature,
Oh, yeah.
and the Half-Earth Movement.
Isn't that just great?
Basically, like, you sabotage half of it for the capitalist half to survive.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Kind of like how Uruguay doesn't have any water right now, so...
So it does track. I mean, Richard Nixon fucking founded the EPA. Conservatives still want a nice place to live, you know?
But only for themselves.
And their kids, I guess. For themselves and for, you know, for their class allies.
Y'all know. Y'all know him. You know.
In Brett Kavanaugh's case, it'd be like himself and other white conservative Christians.
Yeah. You're getting very close to it, yeah. Yeah. Joe, we all know the 14 words. It's okay.
I'm getting very close to it. What are they?
The 14 words. I'm not saying the 14 words. I'm just saying.
Darn it.
A lot of the people in power have, even if they aren't, you know, out white supremacists, they have that kind of logic. Anyways, i.e., you know, Uruguay doesn't have any fucking water. Talk about another one of them, fucking Ron DeSantis being a piece of shit loser and
Sucking at life.
He really is just like a walking disaster.
yeah.
Fuck this guy!
So, like, he hilariously tried to launch his campaign announcement on, like, a Twitter Spaces that, like, kept on crashing and glitching, and it was just a fucking disaster. It went, like, terribly badly. Went really badly, and
Thank you for correcting that.
his press secretary afterwards said about this fiasco, I still can't get over the fact that his press secretary is actually named, like, Brian Griffin, the same name as, like, the dog from Family Guy.
That's awesome. Didn't they kill off the dog?
I have no idea.
I haven't watched Family Guy in like 25 years, so like I don't know.
But DeSantis' press secretary, his name is actually Brian Griffin. He said of the Twitter Spaces disaster was because, quote, there was so much enthusiasm for Governor DeSantis' vision for our great American comeback that he literally busted up the internet.
I can tell you with certainty that more than half of the people that tuned into that just wanted to see how bad it would be.
But it is hilarious when
I
your
agree
press
with that.
secretary is basically like, it was so great that Ron DeSantis busted all over the internet.
That's a stretch, Joe.
You just change one word in that sentence and it is.
Didn't they kill Brian off of Family Guy? Seriously, like this, I'm fucked up on this.
I don't think so. I mean, like there was like episodes where he like should have died, but it has to have that continuity, you know.
It has to have that continuity. I don't know why I said that like that. Have you ever used a Twitter? Like you have to you can only be on your phone. Like they're awful.
I have no idea. I've never been on a Twitter space.
Like you can only be on your phone. You can like to talk and listen to it. You can only be on your phone. Like it's ridiculous.
Actually, apparently,
Whoa.
Sorry.
apparently Trump reacted to this campaign launch by posting a video on a social media site of like one of Elon Musk's rockets blowing up with the caption of Ron 2024 and like the same formatting as like Jeb Bush's like campaign.
Yeah, dude. He should be president just for that.
Jeb Bush, yeah.
It's been
Like here, like you know, they don't see, you know, like the Tesla people or the SpaceX people, I should call them actually, not Tesla, totally different company. They don't see that rocket blowing up as like a failure because the point of that test launch was to test the durability and strength of the launch pad, and apparently it passed. So
Bullshit, dude.
no, but it is kind of
By blowing up all of the launch pad.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, it didn't blow up the launch pad. Like, no, it is still distressing that, like, halfway through Ascension, like, the fucking thing blows up. But,
No.
like, apparently that was the test.
I don't believe that was the
It
test.
blew up most of the launch pad.
I don't.
No, it did it, though?
If Elon Musk had
It did.
any credibility, I might believe it. But that sounds exactly like some bullshit he would make up.
Joe, are you talking about the one that recently launched and, like, blew up in the air? Or are you talking about...
Yeah.
Really? It blew... Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it destroyed most of the cement on the landing pad. It actually, like, killed a bunch of, like, wildlife and shit because, like, they accidentally blew up part of the landing pad, and all of the cement, like debris, goes like flying like miles away.
Yeah, didn't it damage like a nearby town?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, well, I'm just saying what they said. But you can call bullshit on that. You can totally call bullshit on that.
I don't believe them.
I wouldn't either. I
They're
didn't
currently
either.
fighting
so-
a lawsuit
Fuck them.
about
I don't care.
all of the damage they caused.
Believe them.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Elon Musk. What a loser.
DeSantis had another fail because
Oh, we had another one?
he accidentally violated federal campaign laws by trying to transfer
What do you
money
mean
from
accidentally?
No, like he fucked up the paperwork.
He accidentally
How did he fuck up? Wait, what do you mean? What did he
laundered his money.
do? Was there a space that said, like, do not write on this space, and then he wrote okay, like on The Simpsons?
He signed the part that says void.
No, because like he didn't because presidential financial disclosure requirements are like much more like strict than like state level financial disclosures. And so like not only did he do the wrong application, but he's been also accused of moving $80 million from his like state fundraising committee directly to like super PACs, which is very much illegal. And it's also funny that the campaign committee he tried to set up for his presidential run, that they did the application wrong. So he now has a campaign committee that has $36 million sitting in it that he can't use.
What did Ron DeSantis do before he was a politician?
He worked at the Guantanamo prison.
Wow.
Okay, so he was like a lawyer. Yeah, he was like the lawyer who like told them like what was it within their bounds of torture. That's fucking okay. So that makes sense why he has a shitload of money. Because I was thinking like Ron DeSantis seems like a mobbed up guy. I don't know. Seems like a little mobbed up.
Kind of.
Yeah, the Florida mob down there. But I know other people have made this observation already. His middle name is Dion, so his name is Ron Dion DeSantis. Ronald Dion DeSantis. It's like hard to say.
To me, he doesn't really seem mobbed up so much as like he seems like the asshole that would like drive a convertible and
He's
like
paid off.
park in the teacher's
Yeah, I have to agree
space.
with Jesse. He just seems like a
loser dork.
No, but like he seems like the loser dork who would be the loser dork lawyer for the mob. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He doesn't seem cool enough to me.
You're probably right. You're probably right, though.
Usually, there's kind of a modicum of respect for, even if you're like a shitty person, if you're a shitty person with like vibes, that's different. He doesn't have those.
Yeah, he's like arguably the only person who comes close to being as socially awkward as Elon Musk. That's like in the public eye.
He's so dismissive of like any human emotion. He makes absolutely no effort to connect with people.
Yeah, he's got like rich, snotty rich kid voice.
He sucks. Anyways.
Fuck this guy. Fuck that guy.
Fuck this guy!
What happened in Northern Ireland?
Sinn Fein sweeped local elections.
They're the Nazis, right?
No, they're the Irish Republicans. Like they're the
Who are the Nazis over there?
Those
British.
Are the
Well, yeah. Never mind. You're right. So Sinn Fein is the good one?
Yes, they're historically like
Okay, cool.
the most like left wing.
The most left-wing party to ever left-wing? Wow.
Like
Sorry.
the most left-wing major political party in Ireland.
To ever left-wing.
They're kind of like
To ever
the closest thing to a true like democratic socialist party that's like actually in power.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're not communist or Marxist per se, but
they are solidly socialist.
Yeah.
All right.
They were the political wing of the IRA.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
And so Sinn Fein is now the largest political party like in local governments in Northern Ireland for the first time.
Yeah, I'm fucking here for it, dude.
And so
reunify that shit. Take that shit back from fucking England, dude. They don't need it.
No, they don't.
And this is on top of the fact that last year Sinn Fein swept in the national assembly elections in Northern Ireland. So Sinn Fein is now like the largest party like at the national assembly level, at the local level of government in Northern Ireland, and they are about to be the largest. I mean, they already are the largest party in the Republic of Ireland, but like all of like the shit-lib conservative parties like join together to like keep them out of power. But in the next election, their Sinn Fein is going to like wipe the floor with everybody else in the Republic of Ireland. So it's entirely possible that within like 2 years, the left could have like complete dominance over Irish politics in Northern Ireland and Ireland, which would really set the stage for trying to like reunify Ireland.
You think that's likely?
Yeah, I actually think that like it seems like really, actually genuinely realistic to think that Irish reunification could happen by the end of the decade now.
Yeah, I can see that.
I am 100% there for it. I will actually be going to Ireland next month.
To cause the reunification? You'll be doing it single-handedly?
I mean, that would be awesome if I was there when it happened, but like, I will be there.
Oh, the Joe's arrived.
Oh, we got to reunificate. He's gonna be upset. I can't do accents.
Meister Burns.
I do frequently get mistaken for someone who actually is from Ireland, so
Ireland.
That wouldn't be too surprising.
It's because you're so full of ire.
Oh, is that why they're called Ireland?
EJ made that joke.
No.
Man, that'd be cool though. They're angry iron, angry land, angry island.
Alright, fine.
Well, if they were named by like, I don't know. Never mind. I don't have any good jokes for this. I'll give myself a punchline anyway. Yeah.
Fuck! Shit,
I get credit. I get all the credit.
Give some all that credit.
So funny.
Oh god! And then.
So it's pretty awesome that like
stretching. Oh god. What?
So it's pretty awesome that like the right wingers are basically being pushed out of like power,
why do you think this is happening in the country? Like what's up? Well, the voter, the common man in Ireland's like, I'm fed up with what's
in Northern
going on?
Ireland. It's
because England fucking sucks, dude. Like nobody likes them anymore.
well, no, like the right wingers are just like super cringe, and also like last year when Sinn Fein won in the national elections,
yes.
The unionist parties decided to like boycott the National Assembly to prevent Sinn Fein from like taking like formal control of the Irish National Assembly.
Yeah, well, they fucked that.
They fucked it.
Yeah, well, they fucked it.
And also, like Sinn Fein is like running on a platform of like
sorry,
basically freezing like rent increases.
Oh,
providing like
subsidizing
like rent payments. So giving like renters like a subsidized like check every month to help offset the cost of paying rent. They want like minimum wage increases. They want like to get rid of student debt. They want more investment in like the healthcare sector.
Are they raising taxes on the rich?
Well, here's the thing, dude. It's not like Northern Ireland and Ireland actually really have any fucking beef. Like it's the same dynamic as North Korea and South Korea.
Reunification is actually like a majority of Northern Irish people actually support reunification.
Yeah, exactly. And the majority of, I guess, what is now South Korea, up until very recently, was overwhelmingly in support of reunification with the DPRK.
And in the South, support for reunification is like 72%.
In South Korea?
No, the rest of Ireland.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
So, like, it's going to happen in a few years because that's what the majority of the population wants.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so this is just like a natural progression, and the political party that just so happens to be championing it the most is the left party. Okay.
If the Troubles, as it were,
was basically just British imposed imperialism.
If Northern Ireland was only fighting with its own troops, it would have lost so fucking hard.
It would have lost like 90 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason that, like, partition happened in the first place is because the British army showed up.
Yeah. It's a similar dynamic to what happens with the former colonies of the United States. Well, I guess it's still kind of happening with other British colonies like Taiwan.
What's up with Taiwan right now? Are they inching closer to coming back to... What's going on?
It's the same thing that has been happening with...
Ukraine.
It's like the same... It's just like all the same thing.
It's pretty much the same dynamic.
Taiwan recognizes itself, basically, as part of China.
Yes.
Yeah.
including the Vatican, including Vatican City in the United
care about the
States,
Vatican.
there are a grand total of like 12 countries that recognize Taiwan as an independent state. 12 out of like 200.
That's awkward. That's an awkward ass party, you know? It's weird.
Well, the United States aided Japan in colonizing parts of China and Korea, so like we have a pretty vested interest in holding on to that territory.
Japan is basically like a U.S. colony unto itself. I mean, what else would you call a place in which the U.S. has like several military and naval bases, and we have like 30 or 40,000 troops occupying that territory?
It's just funny to think that, like, right after, like, Mao was just like, okay, this is China. And America's just like, nah, it's this tiny little island. Fuck you. Not this a country of billions of people.
That is a gross overestimation of,
Well, of a billion people.
on Taiwan.
And it's also like interesting that like the Taiwanese don't really see the United States as like a benevolent savior either, because
Yeah, they were scared when Nancy Pelosi showed up. Like they were
and also about like a month ago,
That is funny.
their defense ministry said that they will shoot down any American missiles that are like, if the United States tries to like destroy like Taiwan like Semiconductor Corporation, which is like the world's largest semiconductor producer in the world, because there is a real fear that like the U.S. would rather blow up the Taiwan Semiconductor Corporation rather than let China have it.
It's not as far away of a threat as it on its face seems like it should be.
All right. Before we get too marred in any of all this stuff.
Talk about the whales.
The whales.
They're saving themselves now.
There was
The
literally a
whales.
headline that I saw in The Guardian this week about how the U.S. is willing to, like, go to war in space with China and Russia. I didn't see the rest of the
Yeah.
headline.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's, like, how insane we are at this point as a country. Just, like, we are ready, if necessary, to, like, wage, like, orbital warfare with other countries.
You can't help but make
In
it sound
space.
cool. You say orbital warfare, motherfucker? Come on.
I'm going to find that actual headline. U.S., quote, ready to fight in space if we have to, says military official. Threat posed by, quote, unquote, provocative Russia and
What a
China has
quote.
left U.S. no choice but to prepare for orbital skirmishes.
Dude, at least Trump came up with the phrase Space Force.
If
That sounds cool.
we are prepared to fight in space if we have to. What a quote.
That was a headline from May 28th, 2 days ago.
You're revealing our time and place in time. Wait, no, that's fine.
I already did.
We're idiots. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
We're not.
No, we're sorry.
Listeners, we record on Tuesday evenings.
Oh, shit. Talk about the stupid whales.
They're
Sorry.
not stupid.
Talk about the brilliant, beautiful, majestic whales
Thank you.
as they wreak havoc against fucking dumb.
They're taking the oceans
people.
back.
The Associated Press reported that a pod of orcas repeatedly rammed a 65-foot sailing yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar. Rammed it repeatedly until it sank.
Jesus Christ.
That's from the Associated Press. This Scientific American article is genuinely hilarious, titled, Why Has a Group of Orcas Suddenly Started Attacking Boats? Killer whales in a group near Spain and Portugal may be teaching one another to mess with small boats. They sank their third vessel earlier this month.
So third vessel.
Yes, they have
So fucking cool.
sank 3 boats in the month of May.
I'm defenseless against that kind of female insanity.
Anybody ever seen the movie Orca? This thing's awesome. These things are great. They're great.
So it's a very short article, and it's kind of hilarious.
You know they're not technically whales.
They're dolphins.
Yeah, shit's cool.
Well, dolphins are whales, so they technically are whales, but they're also technically dolphins. All dolphins are whales.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So, actually, wait a minute. No, they've sank 4 boats this month. Actually,
Fuck!
Base.
Fuck! Did these motherfuckers have a body count? Like, have they killed anyone yet, or just sunk boats?
no, they're just sinking boats. They haven't killed anybody yet.
Smart.
The third
motherfuckers.
time orcas have sunk a vessel off the coast of Portugal and Spain in the past few years. The subpopulation of orcas in this region began harassing boats most often by biting at their rudders. In 2020, almost 20% of those attacks caused enough damage to disable the vessel, says Alfredo Lopez, an orca researcher in the Atlantic Orca Working Group, which monitors the Iberian killer whale population. It is a rare behavior that has only been detected in this part of the world. Researchers aren't sure why the orcas are going after boats. There are two hypotheses, according to Lopez. One is that killer whales have invented a new fad, something that subpopulations of these members of the dolphin family are known to do. Much as in humans, orca fads are often spearheaded by juveniles, Lopez says. Alternatively, the attacks might be response to a bad past experience involving a boat.
Orca fads? Motherfucker.
So this wasn't a Mandela effect thing. I remember last year there were articles about orcas attacking boats off the Iberian Peninsula, and there were researchers that were trying to play it down, like, oh, they're just being playful. An article by Robin White from August 26th, 2022 says, orcas interfering with boats off the coast of Spain and Portugal are not doing so out of aggression, but because they are playing with dolphins. So this has escalated. Now it is.
Now they're out for blood.
The press can no longer quell the fear of vengeful orcas.
The researchers found that the orcas preferentially attack the boat's rudder, sometimes scraping the hull with their teeth, often snapping the rudder of the boat, leaving it unable to navigate. In 3 cases, the animals damaged the boat so badly it quickly sank. Last July, they sank a sailboat with 5 people on board. In November, they caused the sailboat carrying 4 to go down. And then, this month, they attacked a Swiss sailing yacht called a Champagne and the 65-foot yacht, I forget the name of it, but it was flying a British flag that sank also in the Straits of Gibraltar. In 2020, researchers observed 9 different individual killer whales attacking boats. It is unclear if others have since joined. The attacks tended to come from 2 separate groups.
Yeah.
And,
keep going.
Where was it?
I know I said wait, but I'm kidding. Just keep going. Keep going. I was hoping Joe was just going to go he goes. But, so how, are these, spread out? So it's only these 2 groups that are doing it? Because it sounds like it's coming from a lot of different places. And if that's the case, then, I think the whole...
tended to. It says tended to, which kind of suggests there's not just these 2 groups.
They've also recruited other species. There's something happening here.
Yeah, because, if it's such
it's some mycelium network shit happening here.
The whale that they attribute to starting this, that they've named White Gladys.
White Gladys? What the fuck? That's such an awful name.
Researchers speculate that she may have been become entangled in a fishing line at some point, giving her a bad association with boats. And it seems that she has been teaching other whales how to attack boats.
Yeah, dude, it's like a people's army, except instead of people...
And motherfucking orcas.
The other theory is that the orcas want vengeance.
Yeah, no shit.
Quote, orcas off the Iberian coast like to follow fishing vessels to snag bluefin tuna before the fishermen can reel them in. So it is possible that orcas who have had a bad run-in with a boat in the past is now teaching other killer whales how to attack vessels as well. Lopez Fernandez emphasized, we don't have enough information to know the real reason yet. Even assuming the second theory is true, we don't know what has been triggering the stimulus, even though it's been already said that it's probably because a whale got caught in a fishing net is now angry and attacking boats as a response.
Dude, we gotta be honest here.
Whales are cool.
Animal behavioral specialists have no idea what the hell is going on. They're just frantically trying to come up with reasons for.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what it sounds like.
So it's been concluded that the rest of the whale population is learning to imitate to how to attack a boat.
Not just orcas,
and they're doing this on purpose.
Other species. They have been attacking boats in tandem with dolphins.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was what, again, I remember this being a thing last year, and even at that point, they kind of blamed it on the dolphins, saying, it was interactions between orcas and dolphins, or maybe the orcas were confusing boats for dolphins or some bullshit.
Oh, yeah, right.
But, thanks.
Quote, the orcas are doing this on purpose, of course. We don't know the origin or motivation. but defensive behavior based on trauma is the origin of all this gains more strength for us every day, according to Lopez Fernandez.
We have gone from like, this is totally like being blown out of proportion. This is not an intentional behavior to like, oh, of course, we know that this is intentional. We know that this is like a coordinated attack. Jesus fucking Christ.
I heard that, yeah.
That's not, she's under a blanket, dude.
Female orca they call white platter suffered a critical moment of agony, a collision with a boat or entrapment in illegal fishing that flipped a behavioral switch that traumatized orca. It's now the one that started this behavior because of physical contact with the boat. Orcas are social creatures that can easily learn or reproduce behaviors performed by others, according to a 2022 study. In the majority of reported cases, orcas have made a beeline for boats' rudders and either bitten, bent, or broken it off. Quote, we do not interpret that the orcas are teaching the young, although the behavior is spread to the young vertically, simply by imitation, and later horizontally among them because they considered something important in their lives, said Lopez Fernandez.
That sounds exactly like teaching the young. What the hell, dude? I don't understand. This is hard cope. Absolute cope.
No, the orcas aren't rebelling at all, but like they are totally rebelling.
We see through you.
Yeah, the first it's just a bunch of teenage whales and they're fucking fads.
It's a phase. Yeah, it's a phase. Oh, it's just they'll get over it. Like they'll learn. They'll they'll behave.
It's so funny.
They'll walk it off.
Oh, if only.
God, dude.
Oh man,
whales are so fucking rad, man.
Yeah, they really are.
They are so fucking cool and majestic.
I am on the side of the orca wars with the orcas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna evolve.
Bro, we're all predators. If a human being gets eaten by an animal, they deserved it, probably.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
So concludes part 1 of episode 114. Part 2 will be released shortly, so turn on your notifications or whatever. Definitely rate the show on Spotify too, if you would. And for now, comrades, enjoy your epoch.